Take a few seconds to think about your mornings. Not the rushed ones, but the very ordinary mornings where you wake up already feeling tired. Nothing big is happening. You're thinking about what to wear, looking for things, mentally checking if you forgot something. It all feels small, yet there's this quiet sense of rush, a bit of tension, a bit of mental clutter, like your energy is being drained before the day even begins. The problem isn't waking up earlier or trying to be more disciplined. It's the way your morning space forces you to constantly figure things out. Every item in the wrong place, every step without a clear order, quietly adds weight to your morning. This video focuses exactly on that. Not on making your home look pretty, but on setting up your morning flow from your bedroom to the spaces you move through each morning, so everything feels smoother and lighter. I'll be sharing 7 simple practical tips to help mornings stop being the hardest part of your day. Let's start with the morning, not when your brain is at its sharpest, but when it's most vulnerable to fatigue and overload. In the morning, our brains are not fully online yet. Even if you've slept enough, your mind still needs time to warm up. So if your morning environment constantly asks you to think, decide, or evaluate, feeling tired or irritated is almost inevitable. Most people organize their homes during their free time when they can stand back, look around, and make thoughtful choices. But morning is a completely different state. This is when you're more irritable, more forgetful, and more easily discouraged. When things aren't clear, your brain has to work non-stop just to complete very small tasks. I want to invite you to do something simple with me. Stand in the area where you usually prepare in the morning, maybe in front of your closet, your skincare shelf, or your bedside table. Don't tidy anything. Just look and notice whether this space forces you to think. Often, exhaustion comes from very small things. Clothes mixed together make you pause to choose. Skincare spread across different drawers makes you forget steps, skip steps, and eventually rush through everything. These tiny decisions add up and make the morning feel much heavier than it needs to be. Now try this with me. Pick one group of items you use every morning, just one, and ask yourself whether you can look at it and immediately know what to do next. If you have to stop and think, that's a sign this setup isn't right for the morning. You don't need to do anything complicated. Simply move the items that aren't truly necessary out of your morning zone, at least for now. Morning is not the time for things to look perfect or complete. It's the time for clarity, so you don't have to tense up right from the start of the day. Spend 5 minutes adjusting one small corner like this and notice whether your body feels lighter. If it does, feel free to share your experience in the comments so others can learn too. This is also why many people feel their homes are still messy even after a lot of cleaning. The issue often isn't a lack of cleaning, but the way the space quietly forces your brain to think too much every day, especially during low-energy moments like the morning. In the next video, I'll explain why some homes look clean but still feel heavy, and the kinds of invisible clutter that keep you cleaning over and over without ever feeling lighter. Next, let's take a closer look at the bedroom, because this is where your brain transitions, states not where everything you own should live. In the morning, the bedroom really has just one job, helping you move gently from sleep into wakefulness. It doesn't need to be multifunctional. It doesn't need to store everything you own. The fewer roles it has, the better it can support your morning. Yet many bedrooms today function like miniature storage units. Too many items in one space create too many visual signals. The moment you open your eyes, your brain is already processing a chair piled with clothes, a cluttered bedside table, an overstuffed wardrobe. You're not fully awake yet, but you already feel mentally heavy without knowing why. Instead of cleaning right away, try something different. Sit or stand in your bedroom and ask yourself, does this help me wake up more lightly? If the answer is no, it probably doesn't belong in your morning environment. The closed chair, random items on the nightstand, or an overflowing closet are very common examples. Rather than tackling the whole room, try a smaller challenge. Imagine your morning bedroom holding only 3 groups of things, one related to sleep, one related to what you wear when you leave the room and one that helps you wake up, like light water or a neatly made bed. Even imagining this is often enough to reveal what's excessive. Choose one surface in your bedroom, maybe the chair or the nightstand, and try to keep it empty or almost empty before you go to bed tonight. The next morning, notice how it feels when you open your eyes. It doesn't need to be perfect, just slightly different. If your bedroom feels lighter and your mind follows, share that experience in the comments. I'd love to hear how your morning space changes. And once the bedroom is doing its job as a transition space, we arrive at the most fragile point of morning flow, getting dressed. The dressing area is often where people lose the most time, not because choosing clothes is hard, but because the space is organized against the logic of movement. Getting dressed is one of the biggest causes of running late, yet it's rarely recognized as such. The problem isn't indecision, it's that the dressing area is rarely treated as a single zone. Instead, it's scattered, and every morning your brain has to piece it together. When items aren't arranged in the order you use them, your body keeps turning, bending, reaching, and searching. Shirts in the closet, pants somewhere else, accessories in another room. Each trip only takes a few seconds, but together you end up walking back and forth 3 or 4 times without noticing. The morning stretches out not because the task is hard, but because the path is inefficient. Try observing your movements one morning without changing anything. Notice where you start, where you go next, and where you double back. Many people are surprised by how much unnecessary movement is involved in such a simple task. From there, try this experiment. Stand where you usually get dressed and imagine a straight line for your morning underwear, main clothing outerwear. This is your body's natural sequence, not a display strategy. When items don't follow this order, you're forced to backtrack. Instead of organizing by category, try grouping everything by usage sequence in one defined area. It doesn't need to be perfect, just close enough that you don't have to leave the space mid-process. A clear morning outfit zone lets your body move automatically without thinking. Test this on one morning next week and notice whether you walk less or feel less interrupted. If your morning feels faster without more effort, share that experience. Once you leave the bedroom, the next space that sets the tone for the entire day is the bathroom. Another overlooked space is the bathroom, where fewer choices mean a lighter brain. The morning bathroom shouldn't be a place for experimentation. Morning hygiene or skincare has one purpose: helping you wake up and get out the door. Yet many bathrooms do the opposite by presenting too many options while your brain is still tired. Every bottle demands a small decision. This one or that one. Add this step today or not. Each choice feels insignificant, but together they drain you quickly. That's why many people end their morning routine rushing through things, no longer feeling like they're caring for themselves. Think back to a recent morning. Did you pause at the sink unsure which product to use first? And then, to save time, skip a step or rush through it? That's not a lack of care. It's decision overload created by the space. Instead of reorganizing the whole bathroom, select only the products you use in the morning, no more, no less, and place them together in the exact order you use them. Imagine a simple path for your hand moving from left to right without needing to think about the next step. Products used only at night or occasionally should live elsewhere. Nighttime can handle multi-step care. Morning needs clarity and speed. When these two time frames are separated, your brain gets more rest. Try this tomorrow and notice whether the bathroom feels different. If your morning feels lighter, even without being shorter, share your experience. But morning flow doesn't only break in the bathroom, it also breaks at the moment you step outside. At this point, pay close attention to the moment right before you leave the house, because a single misplaced detail is enough to break the entire flow. Many mornings go fairly well until the very last minute. Most things are done, you're ready to head out, and suddenly you feel rushed. This moment is often where morning flow collapses, even if everything before it felt smooth. The reason isn't carelessness or forgetfulness. The morning brain works very differently, and it's especially bad at remembering things it hasn't seen yet. When objects are out of sight, the brain almost treats them as if they don't exist. That's why familiar situations, forgetting your keys, your card, your gym bag, or your laptop, keep happening again and again. Think back to the last time you had to rush back into the house. The feeling usually isn't just about losing time, it's frustration mixed with urgency. All of that comes from one item not being in the right place or not appearing at the right moment, instead of trying harder to remember. I invite you to try a different approach. Choose one single spot in your home where everything you need to take with you appears before you leave. Not multiple places, just one. This spot should be near the door and at eye level so you don't have to bend down or open drawers. You don't need to store things beautifully or hide them away. The only goal is visibility. When your keys, cards, bag, or laptop are right in front of your eyes, your brain doesn't have to strain to remember. Your body simply follows the routine. Try picking a small corner near the door and using it as a launch pad for the next few days. Each night before bed, place the items you'll need there. The next morning, notice whether leaving the house feels less rushed. If you find that your morning ends more calmly just because everything shows up at the right time, share that experience in the comments. But if your mornings still feel rushed, the issue may not be your belongings, it may be the order of your steps. At this stage, the problem isn't motivation. It's that your morning doesn't yet have a fixed sequence for your body to move through automatically. One of the biggest mistakes in conversations about mornings is thinking you need more motivation. In reality, most exhaustion doesn't come from a lack of willpower, but from having to ask yourself every morning, what should I do next? When the order of steps changes from day to day, the brain is forced to constantly recheck the situation. Should I eat first today or get dressed first? These decisions sound tiny, but every pause to confirm breaks the flow. The body isn't allowed to move forward. It has to wait for instructions. Instead of viewing your morning as a to-do list, try seeing it as a physical movement. When you wake up, your body naturally wants to follow a familiar order. If that order changes every day, your body stays in a state of hesitation. The exercise here isn't about optimizing each step to be faster. It's about choosing a sequence simple enough to repeat. For example, wake up, get dressed, wash up, eat, then leave. This sequence doesn't have to be universal. It just has to be right for you and kept consistent long enough. Try committing to this order for 3 mornings, even if you feel like doing it differently today. Familiarity doesn't arrive instantly, but once it does, you'll notice your body moving on its own without being pushed. When your morning has its own rails, you'll realize you don't need motivation to start the day. And that's when we arrive at the final point, one that many people overlook the most. In the end, morning flow doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs a little less friction than the day before. Many people try to design their mornings with the hope of fixing everything once and for all. They want a perfect system that works for every day and every phase of life. But morning flow isn't something that can stay fixed forever. It just needs to work slightly better than yesterday. Life keeps changing, and your morning flow needs to change with it. Studying is completely different from working. During busy periods, mornings need to be short and efficient. When life slows down, you may want to add a few care rituals. If you force an old setup onto a new rhythm, mornings slowly become heavier without you realizing why. I invite you to see your morning as something alive, not as a project to complete. There are phases where you need more support from your space and phases where you need less. There is no forever right version, only a version that fits right now. Instead of big cleanups or full overhauls, try a very small weekly habit on any morning notice where you get stuck. It might be time spent searching for something, pausing to think, or a vague sense of discomfort. Once you spot the friction, ask whether there's something you can remove or simplify. Sometimes the change is as small as removing one item you no longer use in the morning or shifting the position of a single object. These changes sound minor, but they noticeably reduce friction. You don't need perfect optimization, just fewer stumbles than yesterday. Decluttering isn't a project with an endpoint. It's part of how you live and adjust across different phases of life. When you allow your morning flow to evolve with you, mornings become lighter without pressure. And that's how I see morning flow, not perfection-driven, not aesthetic for the sake of it, just focused on making each morning a little easier to breathe through. If anything here made you pause and think about your own mornings, leave a comment. Even one small detail, I'd really love to know where your morning flow tends to get stuck. A lighter morning doesn't come from doing everything right, but from needing less effort to move forward. In the next video, we'll talk about why your home can still feel messy even after you've cleaned and why the real cause is often not where you expect. If this series helped you breathe a little easier, feel free to like or subscribe so I can keep making more. I'll be right here adjusting the small details with you slowly, one step at a time.